Men over 60. This chair, edge trick, makes you rock hard. Instant results. Let's be candid. For many men who have reached the milestone of 60 years and beyond, a significant portion of their daily existence is often characterized by sitting. Whether it's at the workplace, within the comfort of their own homes, during commutes in their vehicles, or virtually any other setting one might find themselves in, the act of sitting becomes a prevalent posture. The underlying issue, however, lies not inherently in the act of sitting itself, but rather in the manner in which most individuals sit. This common flat-seated posture is inadvertently, yet demonstrably, impeding vital blood flow to the penile region. It exerts undue compression upon the intricate network of the pelvic floor muscles, and consequently, it is a significant contributing factor to the diminishing or cessation of morning erections. But let me be clear, the purpose of this discussion is not to advocate for the cessation of sitting, an often impractical demand. Instead, the objective here is to unveil a transformative technique, one that empowers you to repurpose the very act of sitting, transforming it from a detrimental habit into a catalyst for enhanced hardness and erectile function. This revolutionary approach centers around a specific, yet remarkably simple technique. The only indispensable tool required is something universally available in almost every household: a chair. If your chair is at the ready, then we can commence. I am Dr. Amara Cruz, and I have dedicated the past 14 years of my professional career to the field of men's health. When I first encountered the principles of this particular technique, I, like many of you might be, was steeped in skepticism. The claims seemed almost too good to be true. However, the true test came when we began to implement this method with my patients. Within a mere 3 days of consistent application, the messages began to flood in. The resurgence of morning erections was not an isolated incident. It was a widespread phenomenon among those who diligently practiced the technique. I was, to put it mildly, stunned, and my patients shared in this profound astonishment. Honestly, the collective shock was palpable. It is this remarkable experience that compels me to share this knowledge with you today. We haven't had the opportunity to comprehensively gauge the geographic distribution of our audience in quite some time, so please, I implore you, take a moment to inform me in the comments section from where you are observing this. Witnessing your support emanating from all corners of the globe is an incredibly potent source of motivation for me. Before we delve into the intricacies of the technique, I urge you to click that subscribe button. This is crucial to ensure you do not miss out on this invaluable method, nor any of the subsequent groundbreaking insights that will be shared. Now, let us embark on this journey and understand precisely what transpires within your body when you engage in prolonged sitting, and why this seemingly innocuous activity can be so detrimental to your erectile health. The fundamental physiological disruption that occurs when you sit for extended periods, particularly in a conventional flat manner, is a retrograde tilting of your pelvis. This means that as you settle into your chair, especially if you tend to lean back, your pelvic bones naturally rotate backward. This seemingly minor postural shift has profound consequences. It effectively renders your pelvic floor muscles, the very muscles crucial for supporting erections and trapping blood within the penis, entirely inert. They are prevented from engaging, remaining in a state of dormancy, unable to perform their vital functions. The second significant consequence is the direct compression of your perineum. This sensitive area, located between your testicles and your anus, is a hub of critical anatomical structures. Directly beneath it lies your prostate gland, and intricately woven within this region is a complex network of nerves that are absolutely indispensable for achieving and maintaining an erection. When you sit in a flat, unsupported position, you are, for hours on end, applying direct pressure to this delicate zone. The surface of the chair acts as a constricting agent, squeezing this sensitive anatomical territory. This continuous compression leads to a restriction of blood flow to the area and, consequently, can result in a numbing or dulling of the vital nerves that govern erectile function. Thirdly, your hip flexors undergo a process of shortening. When you remain in a seated position for extended durations, the muscles situated at the front of your hips, known as the hip flexors, are held in a perpetually shortened state. Over time, this prolonged immobility causes these muscles to actually contract and shorten permanently. These shortened hip flexors then act as a physical impediment, restricting the vital blood flow that needs to reach your pelvic region. Moreover, they prevent your pelvis from assuming the correct anatomical angle necessary for optimal pelvic floor engagement. Fourthly, your core musculature essentially shuts down. In the flat-sitting posture, your abdominal muscles, your back muscles, and your pelvic floor muscles all become passive. They are not required to exert any effort, and consequently, they cease to function actively. When these essential stabilizing muscles are not engaged, the inherent stability within your pelvic region dissipates. The structural scaffolding that supports and facilitates erections begins to weaken, making it more challenging for the body to achieve and sustain firmness. Fifthly, and critically, your overall circulation slows down significantly. The seated position impedes the efficient return of venous blood from your legs back towards your heart. This sluggish venous return makes it considerably more difficult for blood to flow effectively to your pelvic region and subsequently to your penis. This compromised circulation is a direct precursor to weaker, less robust erections. Now take a moment to truly contemplate the cumulative effect of this scenario. You are likely spending anywhere from 6 to 8 hours each day, day after day, for years on end in this detrimental sitting position. Your pelvis is tilted backward, your perineum is being compressed, your hip flexors are shortened, your core is deactivated, and your circulation is sluggish. Your body, in essence, gradually forgets how to achieve and maintain hardness. Morning erections begin to dwindle and disappear because the muscles responsible for them are no longer being activated and are functionally compromised. Erectile hardness during intimate moments starts to fade because the blood flow is insufficient, and the pelvic floor muscles are unable to effectively trap the blood necessary for a firm erection. Many men, faced with these changes, resign themselves to the belief that this is simply a natural consequence of aging, a normal part of getting older. However, this is a profound misconception. This decline is not an inevitable byproduct of aging. It is a direct and predictable outcome of how you are choosing to sit. But here lies the truly excellent news. The solution is not to eliminate sitting, but to transform it. I am now going to reveal the technique, and I urge you to listen with extreme attentiveness, for a significant number of men inadvertently perform this incorrectly, thereby negating its benefits. The first crucial element of this technique is your seating position. You must position yourself on the very front edge of your chair. I cannot emphasize this enough. Not in the middle, and certainly not towards the back. The front edge is paramount. Aim for a position where approximately half of your buttocks are supported by the chair, while the other half is suspended in the air, extending beyond the edge. This precise positioning is critical because it is at this juncture that your pelvis is able to achieve the optimal angle for subsequent muscle engagement. Once you are in this position, firmly plant your feet on the floor. Ensure they are shoulder width apart, providing a stable base. Crucially, maintain a balanced distribution of your weight between the edge of the chair and your feet. You should feel both stable and actively engaged, not slouched or relaxed. Now comes the dynamic aspect of the technique, the actual movement. Getting this part precisely right is absolutely essential for unlocking the full potential of this method. You are going to initiate a slow, deliberate forward tilt of your pelvis. This involves gently pushing your lower abdomen forward while simultaneously tucking your tailbone slightly underneath you. As you perform this forward tilt, you will begin to feel your lower abdominal muscles engage. It's at this precise moment of engagement that you are to actively contract your pelvic floor muscles. Think of this contraction as if you were trying to stop the flow of urine midstream. You should feel a distinct tightening sensation at the base of your penis and around your anus. This is the precise sensation we are aiming for, indicating that the correct muscles are being activated. You will maintain this strong contraction for a duration of 3 seconds, ensuring that your pelvis remains in the forward tilted position throughout. Following this 3-second hold, you will then slowly release your pelvic tilt, returning your pelvis to a neutral position, and concurrently, completely relax your pelvic floor muscles. Allow yourself a 2-second rest period in this relaxed state. This rest is important to prevent muscle fatigue and to allow for proper recovery before the next repetition. You will then repeat this entire sequence. The movement involves the forward tilt of the pelvis, followed by the deliberate squeeze of the pelvic floor muscles, holding for 3 seconds, then returning the pelvis to neutral and releasing the muscles, followed by a 2-second rest. This constitutes 1 complete repetition. You are to perform a total of 15 repetitions. The entire process, from the initial tilt to the final release and rest, should take approximately 50 to 60 seconds. It is beneficial to find a natural rhythm for this movement, a flowing sequence of tilt and squeeze, return and release. This rhythmic execution can make it easier for your body to learn and internalize the movement pattern. So in essence, the technique comprises 3 core components: edge sitting, the deliberate pelvic rocking motion, and controlled pelvic floor contractions, all accomplished within about 60 seconds. Now, let's explore the physiological benefits of this meticulously designed exercise. By adopting the edge-sitting posture, you effectively eliminate the direct pressure on your perineum that is so damaging in conventional sitting. Furthermore, this position ensures that your pelvis is correctly aligned, creating the ideal foundation for muscle activation. Most importantly, and perhaps most critically, you are consciously and deliberately activating muscles that have likely been dormant and underutilized for months, if not years. This exercise sends a powerful, unambiguous signal to your body. Wake up, these muscles are vital. It's time for them to start functioning again. In the initial few days of practicing this technique, you will likely experience a heightened awareness in your pelvic region. You might feel a subtle tightness at the base of your penis, or a general sense of activation and engagement in the muscles of your pelvic floor. This is entirely normal and a positive indication that your muscles are indeed awakening after a prolonged period of inactivity. The true transformation begins to manifest between the 3rd and 5th day of consistent practice. This is when many men report the return of morning erections. While they may not be as firm or as prolonged as they once were, you will likely notice a discernible increase in partial firmness, which is a strong and encouraging sign that your body is responding positively to the stimulus. As you progress into the 2nd week of performing this technique, your morning erections should become more consistent and reliable. You will likely also observe a quicker response time during intimate encounters and a general sense that things are beginning to function more naturally as they did in your younger years. By the 3rd week, the majority of men who are diligently practicing this exercise report significant improvements. This includes fuller, more robust erections, enhanced staying power, and a notable boost in overall confidence. Your pelvic floor muscles have now had sufficient time to adapt to the daily activation signal, becoming stronger and more responsive. By the 4th week, many men experience what feels like a complete restoration of their erectile function. Morning erections become a reliable daily occurrence, and erections during intimacy are firm, responsive, and sustained. However, it is absolutely crucial to understand this fundamental principle. A single session, or even a few sessions, will not magically rectify years of muscle dormancy and neglect. Your muscles require consistent and regular activation to rebuild their strength and responsiveness. Therefore, the recommended protocol is to perform this technique twice daily, once in the morning and again before you go to bed. Each session, lasting approximately 60 seconds, amounts to a total daily commitment of just 2 minutes. The men who consistently achieve remarkable results are invariably those who commit to this daily practice. Now let me address some of the most common pitfalls, the mistakes that many men make, which unfortunately lead to a lack of improvement despite their efforts. The most prevalent error is sitting too far back on the chair. You might believe you are on the edge, but in reality, you are still too far into the middle of the seat. In this slightly retracted position, your pelvis cannot achieve the necessary forward tilt, and consequently, your crucial pelvic floor muscles do not engage effectively. Another common mistake is neglecting the pelvic tilt itself. You might be sitting on the edge, but you are not consciously tilting your pelvis forward or tucking your tailbone under. Without this specific action, the deeper pelvic muscles remain inactive. Rushing through the exercise is also a significant error. You are essentially hurrying through the process, performing the squeeze and release without allowing for the full 3-second hold. This insufficient duration prevents the muscles from truly engaging and achieving their maximum contraction. Furthermore, not squeezing hard enough is a frequent problem. You might be performing a light, gentle squeeze, but you are not achieving a strong, deliberate contraction. You should feel a definite and palpable tightening at the base of your penis. If you do not experience this sensation, you are likely not contracting with sufficient force. Finally, and perhaps the most discouraging mistake, is expecting immediate or overnight results from a single session. You might try the technique once, experience no immediate dramatic change, and then abandon the practice. However, muscles that have been dormant for years require sustained effort and consistent activation to awaken and regain their former strength and function. This is not a quick fix. It is a daily regimen, a commitment to consistent activation for a minimum of 2 to 3 weeks. To solidify your commitment and to provide a clear path forward, here is your challenge. Commit to performing this technique twice a day for a period of just 10 days, 60 seconds in the morning and 60 seconds in the evening. For the first 3 days, your primary focus should be on perfecting the seating position and the mechanics of the movement. From day 4 through day 7, begin to pay close attention to the subtle changes occurring within your body. Notice the increased muscle awareness, the potential for partial morning firmness, and any other positive sensations. From day 8 through day 10, take the time to objectively evaluate your progress. The overwhelming majority of men who follow this protocol will observe clear and significant improvements by the conclusion of these 10 days. If you have found this information helpful and believe it can make a difference in your life, please express your appreciation by hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel. And to further demonstrate your commitment, I encourage you to drop a comment below with just 2 words. I'm starting. I personally read every single comment, and I am eager to see who among you is ready to embark on this journey towards enhanced erectile health. I am Dr. Amara Cruz, and remember this: your body is still capable. It simply requires the correct activation and consistent effort. True transformation is born from consistency.